The first dystopia of the 20th century was We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. Let's look at the covers. Since it is a technological dystopia, a lot of the covers lean towards that techno-futuristic vibe, featuring these skylines, these buildings, and especially the integral spaceship that the main character is building. Then there is the societal aspect, since this dystopia relies heavily on dehumanization, or rather collectivization, unity, and all of that. That is normally portrayed through groups of identical people, often with blurred out faces, for instance. I personally like this one, although I would admit that the vibe is not really there. Then we can have the main character, or realistically any member of that society represented on the covers. This one in particular is absolutely gorgeous. But if we're being honest, they are all over the place and actually don't tell us much about the book. What did you do for the Air Force? Since Zamyatin modeled his unified state on the USSR, some Soviet imagery wouldn't be too gauche either. Also, the book has a love story. I wouldn't maybe call it the central storyline, but it is as close as it gets, so maybe featuring a couple on the cover is not that far off. But devil is not even in the details, because I will be generous and blow right past the creepy ones, but then what is this? Or even this, why this painting in particular? This is the illustration to Dante's Divine Comedy, by the by. There are a few that fit the bill, like this one here, or even this one. It is kind of creepy, but it fits the theme of them being treated as numbers and not as actual people. I also have a soft spot for this cover here. It gives beautiful, like 80s sci-fi vibes, but this edition in particular only came out last year. It also might be AI, because the publisher doesn't list an artist for this cover. And where would we be without using Malevich for literally everything? And then there are the weird covers. Why a dead swallow? Why does he look like a mouse? What's up with this baby? Human? Why the picture of the demolition of a Prit Igor in Missouri? And why this? I am seated, but why? This one is extra weird because the bottom picture is painted by a German Jew who died in Auschwitz, while the top picture is simply the painter's father. One of those things is not like the others. The covers that I truly enjoy are these ones here, where they portray a small man against something grand. I think it works best with the theme of the novel. There are also abstract ones. Let me feature a couple, although I'm not 100% certain what some of these actually are.